Welcome to episode 535, Herbert Wertheim, the happiest self-made billionaire in the world. This is an outline of episode 535. There are 3 reasons we study Herbert Wertheim. First, he's the happiest self-made billionaire in the world. Second, he started life as a dyslexic and was a runaway kid who later joined the U.S. Navy. Third, he made his huge fortune first as an inventor and then later as an investor. Let us meet Herbert Wertheim.
I think discovery is who I am. I just like discovering things. I like reading and understanding things. I like to create things that have never been created before. I like to discover great people, great personalities. And my people in my company always say to me, you know, Doc, you just have too many ideas and too many things to do. And I always say, just give me something to change. I don't care what you've done. Give me something to change.
Herbert Wertheim was born to poor Jewish refugee parents in Philadelphia in 1939.
My father was a baker, and my mom part-time taught school. I only had 1 pair of shoes each year. And if your shoes didn't last you the whole year, you walked around barefoot. Well, my father had the bakery downstairs, and we lived upstairs. It was really just 1 room. And so the 3 boys at the time lived upstairs and slept in the same bed. The only shower we had was a hose over a banana tree.
As a child in Florida, he was an entrepreneur.
I'd get up almost every morning at 4:30, and I would make the donuts, and I would boil the bagels. I wasn't happy at home, and so I just started wandering off. And so I would pick tomatoes and with the migrants and make a few bucks there. In the evening, after I'd finished picking oranges and grapefruit, I would go out and start collecting snakes and get the alligators and stuff like that. And I'd put them in big old burlap bags, and after a while I actually made more money collecting snakes than I did picking oranges and grapefruit, just living out there with the Indians.
At age 17, he joined the U.S. Navy.
I loved the Navy. They gave you clothes, they gave you shoes, they gave you food. You know, nobody was beating you, and they wanted you to learn. I said, God, this is my kind of environment. After coming out of the Navy, I went to work selling Collier's encyclopedias. But then I was accepted to go to work for General Dynamics at Cape Canaveral. I enrolled in Brevard Community College. I started taking courses, and I became very involved when I was at NASA in trying to understand the brain and vision and things like that. I was accepted at the optometry school at the University of Tennessee, and the rest is history.
Part 1 of his fortune. In 1969, at the age of 30, he invented an eyeglass tint for plastic lenses that would filter out and absorb dangerous UV rays.
When I first started my practice as an optometrist, 98% of all the lenses that were dispensed for eyeglasses were glass lenses. The problem with the plastic lens is it was clear, and nobody at that time knew how to color it. So I took it upon myself to learn how to color plastic lenses. That was the beginning of our business. Our company now makes over 4,000 products. People ask me, what kind of an optometrist are you? I always say I'm a vision neurologist. I deal with the brain and the eye. My field of vision happens to be color vision and tumors and things like that. Our company has designed and implemented probably about 35 or 40 therapeutic lenses to help people in the areas of macular degeneration, grand mal seizures, epilepsy, Parkinson's disease, albinism, retinitis pigmentosa. We have all kinds of lenses that work in a therapeutic way neurologically with the brain.
Now, part 2 of his fortune. The inventor Herbert Wertheim was also a brilliant investor.
From numerous inventions and buy and hold investing, Wertheim could very well be the most significant individual investor many Americans have never heard of, and he recently sat down with Forbes to prove it. Madeline Berg, a reporter at Forbes following the money, flipped through Wertheim's brokerage statements, which showed hundreds of millions of dollars in tech stocks like Apple and Microsoft, purchased long ago at their IPOs. There are dozens of other blue-chip stocks in the portfolio, ranging from Google, BP, and Bank of America. Here is Wertheim's interesting path into becoming a billionaire.
He also became a philanthropist since 1977.
I think it's part of human nature to give. How much you give is a matter of opportunity, not necessarily who you are, but the opportunity to see a need and fulfill that need. Our foundation is 41 years old. 1977 it was started, and our first donation was to the Boy Scouts of America, because when I was growing up, scouting was very important to me. Now, you're going to see what I call the graybeards, who were our first deans of the university. President Alfonsine, who was the president of Argentina at that time, invited a group of businessmen and university presidents to come to Argentina to help them with the economy. We spent a week there, and that's when Mitch Medic, the president of Florida International University, said to me, "How would you like to be part of FIU?" And I said, "If I come, I'm going to be doing something. I'm not just going to be sitting around." He says, "Welcome to FIU." And from that day on, we have been involved.
In 2019, at the age of 79, he became self-made billionaire.
Best piece of advice I could give any individual is to be happy with yourself. Enjoy each moment of the day, and little by little, achieve what you want to achieve.
Thank you for watching. Please subscribe and leave your questions and comments below. My next video will be Herbert Wertheim, 8 Lessons. Wishing everyone peace and prosperity.